Less than 2 weeks. That's all you have to wait before next gen strikes, and we are playing the future. What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and I'm here for my updated November edition of PS4 versus XB1. Yup, we are less than 2 weeks away from the dawn of the new era of PlayStation, and I am so freaking hyped, it's crazy. I have the controller in hand, 2 DualShock 4s sitting on my desk, I've got Killzone Shadowfall already, I've done videos on those, I'm pumped as possible, and the Xbox One is just one more week beyond that. But where do these systems stand? Last time I made this video, it was 12 weeks till launch, and a lot has changed, and we've gained more information since that time. The biggest news is that a lot of titles have fallen out of the launch day release. We've had Watch Dogs drop off the face of this earth, releasing sometime in early to mid 2014. We've had Drive Club from Sony, their free game for PS4, be pushed back into next year. We've had Peggle 2 missing the Xbox One launch, one of its premier and probably most prime downloadable titles available on day one, be scooted off into December, and left, what's left? What's left? Knack, Killzone, Dead Rising, Forza, a few side games, but not much left, and this has changed the landscape quite a bit. What also has caused a huge effect is the announcement that Call of Duty Ghosts will be running in 720p on Xbox One and 1080p on PlayStation 4. Now, lots of people raised their arms and began to rage, saying, how could we have a $500 box that doesn't even output true HD? Now, granted, it is going to upscale into 1080p and will probably look just fine on your TV, but this raises some serious questions about how powerful really is the Xbox One. We've known from the get-go that the PlayStation 4 is the most potent and most powerful of the dueling systems, but Xbox One has made a case that, hey, they've upgraded this, they've upgraded that, they're coming in really close. These recent resolution rumors and confirmed reports seem to state that the Xbox might be farther behind than some people assumed. To me, though, this is no reason to raise alarm for a couple of reasons. One, I feel like the graphical difference between an upscaled 1080 and a true native 1080 won't be that discernible to the average player. Now, granted, if you're a complete graphics guru and you know everything about pixel counting and lines and dots, you might be able to definitely determine which is the true 1080 signal, but not all games are going to have to be upscaled. There will be a lot of native 1080 games on Xbox One, and ultimately, I don't think this factors in. Most of all, it's what games are on the platform and how well those developers utilize all the tools and all the power of each system. We look at this generation, the PS3 was noticeably stronger from the get-go than the Xbox 360, and yet most games look pretty much on par, and in fact, over the course of the life cycle, Xbox 360 seemed to have the preference of many developers. Now, this could flip-flop this generation for sure, but I just want to let you know I don't think there's much cause for alarm in terms of power. Xbox One is going to be a powerful system. PlayStation 4 is going to be a powerful system with a little extra oomph, but don't for 1 second think that Microsoft or Sony has designed a box that's going to peter out in a year or two. These are long-term consoles with a lot of juice in them. It really took developers a good 3, 4, 5 years to get all the power they could possibly get out of the 360, out of the PS3. We saw graphics improve 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. Man, it's crazy to go back and look at Perfect Dark Zero compared to Call of Duty Ghosts, or look at something like Cameo compared to BioShock Infinite, or look at something like, Genji on PS3, launch title, Resistance 1 launch title, and compare it to The Last of Us. So we know that improvement is going to be exponential, and sure, we are getting close to that uncanny valley realism, top of the curve, but I think there is still lots of room to grow. We've seen incredible particle effects from games like Killzone Shadowfall. Stuff like Infamous Second Son looks better than I can even imagine, and Titanfall is no slouch either. So where do these systems stand at this point? Well, the game lacking hurts both of them. I really believe it does. And Microsoft seems to stumble every step of the way. They can't get their marketing right. They can't get their messaging straight. The resolution stuff surely didn't help them. But both systems are experiencing a little bit of instability. There's the announcement that PlayStation 4 doesn't even play audio CDs, and for most people that won't factor in, but it's kind of odd. And there's the fact that both systems have huge day one patches that include major significant features. If you don't update to the day one patch on PlayStation 4, you're not getting remote play, you're not even getting online play, so there are some significant, humongous things in these day one patches. I'm expecting multi-gig, probably decently long initial installs and updates for both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, which is a little bit irksome, a little bit frustrating, but that's just kind of what's come about this day and age. They got to produce a box first, and then they make all the final touches. And I'm hearing that especially Xbox One is working down to the wire to nail their service down. Some of the rumors state that Xbox Live and the interface aren't where they need it to be right now, and they are going to be going freaking gung-ho crunch time till the very end to get that thing right. I have faith in both companies to deliver a sound experience. I'm sure there'll be some hiccups along the way. Gosh, there's hiccups with games right now. Battlefield 4 has come out and had some serious bugs. I'm sure that major multiplayer games will have bugs and issues from here on out. Just that's the way the world works with millions of copies being sold. But that being said, initially, I have selected the PlayStation 4 in my last 2 videos. So what do I think right now? Well, more than ever, because of the game delays, because of some of the screwy situations with potential for problems, if you are not desperate for next gen, if you are not craving something brand new, if you don't have a lot of free money, I more than ever strongly say it is okay to stay current gen until next spring. When Infamous Second Son, Destiny, and Titanfall release, things will go crazy, and that will be the perfect time to pick up a system and have plenty of games that truly exude the power of next gen. It's incredible to me that Destiny is coming out in the first half of 2014. I surely assumed it was a Christmas title, but no, it will be here the first half of 2013 with the beta coming sometime early around February. It's perfectly fine to wait. With Watch Dogs being pushed, you can play Assassin's Creed 4 right now. You can play Battlefield 4 right now. If you have a PC, man, you have even less reason to upgrade. Now, for someone like me, who is a complete console crazy man, and who loves launches like nothing else, I've been waiting so long, I can't help myself. I will be getting both systems, and I probably will be playing Killzone Shadowfall first. I still think that Killzone Shadowfall gives a slight edge to PlayStation 4 on launch day. I also think that their system is a little more locked down at this point. Sure, both have features that will be implemented beyond the launch date, but if I had to say who is probably more stable right now, Sony seems to have that one hands down. I think Xbox One is going to be fantastic. I've heard a lot of people recently say that because of the graphical discrepancy, because of some of the issues, because they can't get their messaging straight, it's going to suck. I don't think that at all. One thing I do think is that they've made zero case for Kinect, and this is an interesting point. They basically claim that they're charging $100 more to sell us that Kinect device, and they've talked very, very little to nothing about it. There's that Kinect Sports Rivals game from Rare. There's, moving stuff around on the main interface. There's waking your Xbox up and facial recognition. But they haven't really hyped that up. And they haven't really made a case for any software taking full advantage of Kinect 2.0. So that becomes a little bit strange. Do I think the price difference will ultimately doom the system? No. I really feel like both systems will sell close numbers this holiday season. Why? Because there's plenty of people that have sworn by the Xbox 360, prefer the Xbox 360, and are going to buy an Xbox One and just transfer over seamlessly. There's plenty of people that don't like the DualShock 3 and don't know that the DualShock 4 is significantly improved, which it is. I've played with the DualShock 4 at E3. Now that I have one in my home, in my hands, I can compare it directly to the PlayStation 3 controllers. It's a huge step up. I like that controller a lot. I'm excited to play Killzone with it. I'm excited to play Resogun. I'm excited to play Knack. It should be a very fun time. The Xbox One controller is great too. I just don't have one yet. Of interesting note, the PlayStation 4 box is nearly identical to the PlayStation 3 box. It's just missing the clear strip at the top, instead opting for a blue one. Now, the real secret here, and before I say this, take a deep breath and don't let your fanboy rage take over your system. The real secret here is that the best games lineup is on the Wii U. And hold your horses, don't go crazy just yet. What I mean by that is if you don't have any of the quote-unquote, next generation systems, the Wii U, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One, if you have neither, the biggest slew of games is available on Wii U, and there are plenty of 9 out of 10 experiences to be had. You have Zombie U, which I loved. You have Nintendo Land, which is a fantastic minigame compilation and party game. You have Pikmin 3, which is excellent, one of my favorite games of the year, to be honest. And you have the upcoming Super Mario 3D World, which, lo and behold, looks to be probably the game of the year. I'm not going to crown it just yet. There are plenty of awesome games that have already come out, and a few more yet to be released, but Super Mario 3D World is shaping up just about perfect. You also have Zelda Wind Waker HD, if you didn't experience that back on GameCube, and an upcoming Mario Kart and DK. But staying right in the current, you have a lot of really good games that have already been reviewed, are already standout titles, and can't be purchased anywhere else. And that's the big deal. To me, if you're going to be dropping $500, $400, even $300, you want stuff that says, hey, I can only be played here. For Xbox One, that's Dead Rising 3 and Forza, really. For PlayStation 4, that's Killzone Shadowfall and Knack, really. I'm disappointed that the indie push that Sony has made is not materializing at launch. I wish The Witness was coming out. Man, that would seal the deal for me. This would be a much simpler decision for me to make if Jonathan Blow's new game, The Witness, was coming out. I'm so excited for that. They talked about so many indie games at Gamescom and E3, and there's hardly any at launch. I know some people like to spread things out, and it makes sense. You don't want to release your big guns right off the bat. Let the consoles build up some user base. Let people, ease them into their living rooms, and then drop your gargantuan titles like Infamous, like Naughty Dog's Project, like Titanfall, like Destiny, like whatever, Microsoft Game Studios and 343 are working on. It's just a little disappointing to know, hey, you're going to drop 500 or 400 and have a few new games. Now, if you've held out on Assassin's Creed 4, if you've held on Battlefield 4, you're in great shape. Those games will be awesome, play awesome, look fantastic on next gen. I'm super hyped for NBA 2K14. That's a multi-platform title, so it doesn't really factor into our discussion here, but I'm very excited to see where sports games go with significantly improved graphics and much more power for AI. The truth of the matter, though, is the most unique experiences, the most standout titles are available on Wii U. And so if you don't have any of them, I do encourage you to consider looking at the Wii U. It's the cheapest, it has the most games, it will be the easiest to get, and it really is turning itself into a pretty solid system. There's a bunch of secondary titles too, like Sonic Lost World and The Wonderful 101, that aren't that bad either. Pretty fun experiences that I would recommend. Don't forget New Super Mario Bros., Wii U, and a bunch of multi-platform stuff from Assassin's Creed 4 to Batman Arkham Origins to Splinter Cell and Deus Ex. It's turning out to be a pretty solid system, and I don't think people should discount it much more. But the name of the video is PS4 versus Xbox One, and I still stand by PlayStation 4 winning the day. If you're determined to get a next-gen system, I think PlayStation 4 is still the smart choice. It's $100 cheaper. Killzone Shadowfall looks fantastic. Dead Rising 3 has kind of gone silent. I don't really know what to expect. I don't think a lot of people do. Companies are getting really cagey around this launch. There haven't been a lot of reviews and nothing from the Xbox One committee. We have no knowledge of what those games play like. We've gotten some PS4 indications of like, hey, here's how AC4 plays, here's how Battlefield 4 plays, but Xbox One, nada so far. And maybe that'll change in the next days. But we only have a week and a half till PlayStation 4 and 2.5 weeks till Xbox One. And I'm getting a bit nervous about Dead Rising 3. If it was a standout title, if it was a stellar game, wouldn't they get it out more in the public eye? I don't know. Perhaps they're just being a little bit stealthy and going to drop a bomb on everyone come November 22nd and release a fantastic third game in that Dead Rising trilogy. I'm excited for it. I hope it turns out well. But I think the surefire bet is Killzone Shadowfall and a little bit more stable PS4, especially because that controller, it's really grown on me. The DualShock 3 I don't like. I'll tell you right off the bat, I preferred 360 over PlayStation 3, hands down this generation, 9 out of 10 times. The occasional exclusive, the occasional downloadable gem really didn't endear me to the PlayStation 3, and I love that system. But if it came to multi-platform, if it came to what one I would choose, the Xbox 360, the controller, it all created a better experience for me. Now, Last of Us was really, really awesome, so maybe that changes things. But all in all, last generation, Xbox 360 was my system of choice. Right now, these two guys are really close. Ignore a lot of the silly rumors. Don't worry about the potential for power. Both are going to be very good. And you are perfectly okay waiting until March or April when you got Infamous, Titanfall, Destiny. Then you're like, I got to jump in. I've got so many great game experiences to play. Those are huge games. Destiny, huge world. Titanfall, massive multiplayer experience. Infamous Second Son looks to be just out of this world. Plus you'd have Killzone, plus you'd have Dead Rising 3, plus you'd have Forza, plus you'd have Pego, plus you'd have a lot of downloadable stuff. So you'd be in great shape if you decide to wait then. If you want to spend your Christmas money on games themselves and not the systems, if you want to spend your Christmas money on your little brother or your grandma, buying them some new outfit, that's fine. I think you're going to be A-okay if you stick with the current gen. But I still say, and this is 3 in a row for PlayStation 4, impressing me quite a bit, they have the slight edge. I recommend PlayStation 4 to friends. I recommend PlayStation 4 to family. I recommend PlayStation 4 to you guys. I don't think you'll go wrong with Xbox One, though. I want you to know this is like a presidential battle. It's like a 51-49 split, 52-48 split. They're not far off. But because of the $100 price difference, because of a little bit more stable system, because of Killzone Shadowfall, I still, here in November, recommend the PlayStation 4. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you're pumped for next gen. Let me know in the comments below which system you're buying. Hit that like button if you cannot wait. any more days for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So excited. I'll be there at midnight launches. I'll have both systems and plenty of coverage for you all. Check out my controller video and game video for PlayStation 4 already up, and stay tuned for Xbox One coverage as well. Until that time, though, guys and girls, have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. Drink some hot chocolate, and we will see you all later.